We all have a voice inside of us that eats out our self-confidence, follows us around like a nagging child, tells us we can't do it. It's like a little chicken screaming at us our anxieties, self-doubt, cynicism, constantly. When we have an idea, it shuts it down. We could have the brightest dream and it will turn it into a nightmare. That voice was set forward for us to fail. That is a voice of failure. I like to call it my inner B word. My inner B word lived inside of me for a long, long time. Like I said, anytime I had an idea to do something, it would rot it away. It would make sure that if I never started, then I couldn't fail. If I never took the first step, then I couldn't ruin anything. So I never did. I listened to that voice because I saw it as caution. I saw its negative influence as care, love. Because for some reason, I listened to the negative voice in my head because I don't know, it catches your eye better, it catches your ear better. If somebody said, don't jump in that pool, you might drown. You're going to hear that before somebody says, hey, jump in that pool, even though you don't know how to swim, and you might swim. You might learn how to swim. So my thought process is, oh, well, I don't know how to swim, so I probably shouldn't jump in that pool, right? And the next time I see a pool, I don't jump in that pool because I remember I don't know how to swim, so I shouldn't jump in that pool, right? And before you know it, I live my life, I go out through my life, and I never learn how to swim. Because that voice in my head, it told me it cared about me enough to not drown. So, hey, I didn't drown. I never drowned. I'll clap for that. I never drowned. But I never swam either. I put all my faith in the fact that I was going to drown before I put all my faith in the fact that I was going to swim. How could I do that to myself? At this point, I already lived my entire life, right? So all that's left is to look back under regret and say, I really could have swam. But it's over now. I'll just move on. I say that to say that cautious voice that sits in the back of your mind, that anxiety that's telling you, oh, I'm protecting you. No one's going to protect you, so I will. See, why would you even think of doing something like that? You don't care about us. What would happen if this could happen, this could happen, this could happen? Because that voice has convinced you that it could tell the future, couldn't it? It can tell the future. So now you sit with it, and you accept it. Besides that though, one day I sat with my inner voice and I said, you know, through all this protection, all this walking the safe road, all this not doing anything, but I can guarantee that I can come home at night and sleep. Because I'm safe. I'll be safe living without risk, and I'll be safe. After being safe for so long, you look around and you realize that nothing has happened. Nothing ever happens. So let's talk. Like I said, my inner child, let's talk to that inner B word. Let's talk to that inner B word. Hello. I asked it, what is the point? It told me that it was keeping me safe. I said, okay, thank you for keeping me safe, but I have dreams and I have ambitions. So how will I be able to reach my goals if I'm always playing it safe? Silence. Because that's not the point of the inner B word, is it? That's not the point. Its only point is to keep you safe. That's the point of its existence, to keep you safe. And it can't even guarantee your safety. Because as much as it convinces you that it can tell the future, it just can't. It just cannot tell the future. So if you can't even tell me that I'm 100% safe, that I will 100% be safe, and you can't even make a way for me to grow, all you're doing is keeping me stagnant. So I said, okay, well, now that I know this, I'll end this conversation. And I know you've kept me safe for a long time, but it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. So what I did is, me and my inner child, we walked to that same very pool, and I could hear the inner B word in the back of my mind, you better not, you might drown. We've never done this before, see? How would you even know how to swim? Nobody's ever taught you how to swim. And I carried my inner child, I put on my snorkel, and I jumped. I jumped in that pool without knowing if I was going to swim or not. But one thing I did know is that I had the ambition to swim. I was going to swim. If I'm going to kill that inner B word that was keeping me safe, and I'm going to take this risk, I better swim. I better swim. So I jumped in the pool. And at first I was drowning. And then I started to kick my legs. I started to flap my arms. And I started to move smoothly. And I looked around and I was swimming. This whole time I could swim. This entire time I could swim. And if you looked around, you started to listen, and that inner B word was gone. When I grew, that inner B word went away. So if you're not helping me grow, why are you here? No answer. So what you're telling me is that you're just a negative voice that lives inside my head? That's it? This person that I've been listening to my entire life to keep me safe was just a negative voice in the back of my mind. Wow. I'm done with you. I'm done with this deal. Our deal together is over. We have nothing together. We're breaking up. I'm over it. Because I can't believe it. It's like you just found out your girlfriend or your boyfriend has been cheating on you this entire time. that sense of betrayal, that you're not even keeping me safe, are you? So I tell that story to say that you have to set goals for yourself that freak you the hell out. You have to be scared of what you're about to do. If you're not scared, then you won't grow. If you won't be uncomfortable and it won't have some type of ache, you will not grow. It's like going to the gym. We all know, if you go to the gym, you know if you run for like 10 minutes and it didn't hurt, baby, you're going to feel the exact same tomorrow. If you lift up a 10-pound weight and that was nothing, you are the exact same amount of strong you are today as you will be tomorrow. You're not growing. Baby girl, you are not growing. So challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. And whenever that inner voice starts to scream at you to stop, that's when you know you're growing. That's when you know you've stepped into a different version of yourself spiritually. And the crazy thing is, if your mind is completely clear, if you're sober, if you listen, if you feel, like meditation, if you feel completely, you can feel your own spirit evolving. And I feel like that is one of the most beautiful things I've ever felt in my life. Except for a connection with my inner child, of course. But that's the second most beautiful thing that I've ever felt in my entire life. So if you've made it this far into the video, grab you and your inner child in here, and baby, jump into that pool. Head first. Dive. Act like you're a natural. Act like you're a goddamn natural. And if you're gonna do the most when you jump in, oh, you better swim. You better swim. That's not even a joke. You better swim. And if you have the will to jump into that pool in the first place, you're 98% are gonna swim. There's still that 2% though. But I feel like if you fall into that 2%, you're not trying to swim hard enough. So yeah. Bye guys.